So you know the segment we do when rich men cry? We're about to show you the origin of it.
Yes.
It involves Leon Cooperman. I also want to note that we're doing, again, a Thanksgiving special where we're thankful for billionaires crying.
No, but it's about time. It's about time. I absolutely love this story, and this story, again, led to a branded segment with an actual intro that we created. That's how strongly we felt about this story. Take a look.
The vilification of billionaires makes no sense to me. The world is a substantially better place because of Bill Gates, Michael Bloomberg, David Rubenstein, Bernie Marcus, Ken Langone. This is idiocy.
If you have been waiting for the moment where you get to watch rich men cry, today is your lucky day. What you just saw there was Wall Street billionaire Leon Cooperman, and he is about to have an actual emotional breakdown over the very thought of having to choose between Donald Trump or Elizabeth Warren in the general election. Watch.
I am not in favor of all this impeachment inquiry. I want the American people to decide in November of 2020 what the future should be.
I think, I think it's kind of obvious people can not only see the emotion on your face, but hear it in your voice. When you talk about this, Lee, why?
I care. That's it.
I mean, what?
You've done this show for many years. Have you teared up on air ever?
Yeah, I've cried.
Was it about something like that?
I mean,
the prospect of your taxes going marginally?
I had a moment when Trump was elected. People like to bring that up a lot. But
not even for that. But there have been some stories.
He is a very, very successful billionaire. There are people sleeping on the streets right now as we speak. Children, there are children, American children sleeping on the streets because of the insane inequality we have in the greatest country in the world, right? In one of the richest countries in the world. He's crying because he's worried about Elizabeth Warren. And by the way, this came after a 20-minute rant on Warren, okay? Let me give you some more details. The Omega Advisors CEO, that's who he is, has previously declared that a Warren presidency would crash the stock market by 25%. That's what he's crying about. And said they won't open the stock market if Elizabeth Warren is the next president.
Wouldn't that hurt it worse? Don't you have to do the like, don't you have to do that or else there's no like, you have to trade papers? I watched that one movie in the 80s. That's all I know about trading stocks. But I think you have to do that.
Oh God, I have more details on this. So on CNBC's Fast Money halftime report, Cooperman continued to rail against Warren, including a curiously worded walkback of his previous comments that ended up comparing a Warren presidency with the attacks of 9/11. I mean, how detached from reality do you need to be? You're talking about one of the most privileged people on the planet, not just the United States, on the planet. And he's crying on national television at the thought of having to pay a wealth tax. That was one of the things he went on a rant about, okay?
Just imagine this guy. I don't know when he said that. He's like getting ready to go on CNBC and he hears the news from a few weeks ago that like Trump compared like his impeachment to a lynching. Is like, I got this. Warren, 9/11. What are you talking? Let's say Warren became president and let's say she passed her wealth tax. He would be a billionaire after.
He would still be
for
a
the
billionaire.
rest of his life, which probably won't be too long, but for the rest of it, he'll be a billionaire and his kids will be fabulously wealthy. It doesn't matter if they're the dumbest kids in the world. It takes like 3 generations of dumb kids to lose $1 billion.
Can we also just address the fact that everyone is incredibly dismissive.
Sorry.
Incredibly dismissive of Bernie Sanders. Like Bernie Sanders is to the left of Warren, but he's not worried about Bernie Sanders because he's already determined in his mind Sanders has no shot. Like this is going to be an election between Trump and Warren, right? Now Trump, in one part of that interview, has been great when it comes to the economy, right? Because if you look at the stock market, it has been doing well under Trump. So he feels like internally conflicted because now there's this impeachment investigation, which he doesn't agree with. And there is some likelihood that Trump wouldn't get reelected. You'd have like a Warren presidency, and he's panicking about that because he'd have to pay more in taxes and still be a billionaire.
Yeah, well, the reason he's talking about her and not about Bernie Sanders is because for like the first 7 months of this year, everyone was like, hey everybody, don't do what we did in 2016 where we all freak out if somebody moves in the polls and we forget that we've still got a long way to go. Don't do that. And then Warren started to go up and literally everyone was like, what? And everyone's like, there's nobody else anymore. Joe Biden, he's been home for a couple months. He's not running anymore. It's just Warren. Even Buttigieg is like, oh yeah, it's me and Warren. Nobody else is running.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Calm down. Yeah, she went up in the polls, okay? We got a long way to go.
We have a
so
year.
long.
Yes, exactly. I want to watch the video of him crying again.
Okay.
I know, that's like a little bit of a curveball, sorry guys, but like, just keep in mind, he is a multi-billionaire, okay? He is not sleeping on the streets. He's not worried about providing food for his family. He's not struggling. This is a man who's very privileged. And here he is crying at the thought of getting taxed a little more.
I am not in favor of all this impeachment inquiry. I want the American people to decide in November of 2020 what the future should be.
I think it's kind of obvious people can not only see the emotion on your face, but hear it in your voice when you talk about this, Lee. Why?
I care. That's it.
His lower lip quivers. His lower lip quivered on national television.
About the prospect that Trump might get impeached. He's crying on TV. Like,
I want the American people to decide, please save my taxes.
that was Nancy Pelosi's stance up until like a month ago. And all those remaining few centrist Democrats and those who only turned it like at the last possible second, remember that guy on TV. That sort of people is thinking, no, it should be the people. Constitution be damned. You commit crimes, it doesn't matter. We have a popularity contest in a year.
Pobrecito.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.